I got like...
What's up, guys? Nate here again with my boy Casey. We did the combo video before locals, and then he went and topped with the deck after. What place you get?
I did third place.
We take those. X1, right?
With it. Yep, X1. Only losing to... Did I lose to you? No. Wow, weird. Okay, anyway.
I lost to someone.
Yeah, I lost to someone. Anyway, yeah, I'll show you the deck. This is an INFERNOBLE deck. It's not the adventure version I showcased earlier, but you'll see why. Mostly because connector's really good. But yeah, I'll do this pretty fast because there's a lot of talking I could do. So I'll just start. So here's the monsters. I'm playing 2 red layer, 1 Fireflint Lady. A lot of people are playing 1 and 1. I like 2 still because you can get the second one off Isolde. That's usually my Isolde search if I don't need it because it's a Fire Warrior. You can use it for discard fodder and stuff. And then if you do get to it, it recurs the other one. So it's like a little bit of future-proof in your next turn. So, but yeah, these are really good because 1 extra body makes an Isolde really easily and it helps you play through hand traps and stuff. So yeah, next up, this should be no surprise. This is why I'm on this version.
Card.
Connector, Dolphin, it's crazy. I ripped a few draws today. It feels real good. I will say though, it's important that I think the reason why this deck did well today was because I was really focusing on sequencing my plays to play through draw. And if you don't do that, you will lose. It's really
that card eats really when you just like play into it.
Right. So you have to sequence like the first thing that you add to your hand. You need to be sure that you can at least get to a board. And if you have this, it makes it easy because you just go. But, I mean, a lot of times you don't have it, so you got to be really careful. And there's a lot of weirdo combos. It's not always just this win. You got to sequence it right, and sometimes you have to make weird plays. If you are going to play the deck, I recommend doing a lot of reps. One of the most important things is to get a level 4 Fire Warrior monster in your graveyard before you resolve Isolde. If you don't do that, you're going to be rough, and you have to do a weird play. So keep that in mind. Anyway, moving on. I'm playing 2 copies of Ogier. A lot of people play 3. I think 2 is just fine for me. It's really searchable. I still think it's definitely the second best normal summon, but
He's the one that dumps, right?
Yeah, he dumps, and then he's protection when he comes back. This sets up your full thing. If you have this and 1 other body, you have the full combo. So it's really good. This also combos really well with Museum. Him and Museum is like really good. So, but yeah, I'm playing 2 copies of Oliver. The reason why I'm doing 2, a lot of people just play 1. He's the one that has the targeting protection when he's equipped, and he's an extender, so you can discard a fire, or you can discard an equip spell, or you can send an equip spell. You can send or discard either one of those and summon him, and he becomes a level 1. So in the case that you have something negated, like if you go Renaud and they negate it, it stops being a tuner. And that's a problem because then you can't make synchro plays very easily without doing some weird stuff and equipping weird things. So this is like pretty important. And I also, if I'm going to use an extender, I want one in deck because I'm playing Metal Silver Armor, and the Metal Silver Armor plus Oliver Lock is pretty good. Otherwise, I wouldn't play the Metal Silver. But if you don't have one in deck, it can be kind of awkward because you might need to use him to get through your combo. So that's why I play 2. I'm only on 2 Renaud. I chose to do 2 red layers over like 1 red layer and 3 Renaud. I don't want to do too many once per turn effects, but Renaud's obviously crazy. It's one of the best extenders ever printed, I think. He's really good. Okay, so then we have Turpin. He's one of the new guys. He's like a spinny. This card makes the whole combo possible. This
card seemed nuts when I was watching a combo before.
It's very good. Yeah, it does a lot for you. While he's equipped, a card becomes a tuner, which most people don't realize that. It comes up sometimes. But yeah, if you get in a weird spot and you need to do a weird play, a lot of times you will Isolde mill 4 and get this guy, send this, equip a Phoenix Blade, bring it back, and then make a rank 4. So that's how you make Artorias. That's why Artorias is expensive. Or if you get drilled real bad, you can use that and make a Baguska and pass and hope for the best.
Yeah, we take those. Yeah. Baguska pass is always when in doubt.
Right. The last 2 kind of in-theme monsters. Richardetto, this card is like a wolf bark. He's crazy. Usually when you're resolving Isolde, this is what you want to aim for. So if you have a level 4 Fire Warrior in your grave, you use this and gets your whole combo. Really good. Also, the in-hand or grave, you can banish it and summon a guy from your hand, and it becomes a tuner. Also really good. Sometimes you just need that. A lot of people forget that effect exists. So I'm playing 1 Gearfried. I think 1's probably fine. People are playing more than 1, and that's to play through boards going second.
Is that card searchable or like?
Yeah, a lot of times your main combo, first you're gonna like search a copy of Turpin to get your Turpin kind of thing going, get your main combo. If you get a second mill in your combo, you send Gearfried, and then you can add back the Gearfried, either using Joyous or Almace later in your combo. So if you are able to get to Museum, you're probably getting Gearfried.
Sick.
Yeah, so that's all the major monsters. All right, so I'm going to go spells next. Got Rhoda. It's
really? Yeah. Why would you play that?
Yeah, I know, crazy.
Dude, it plays in a draw.
It does. Speaking of playing in a draw, I am playing a terraforming because every copy of Museum that you see is another end piece interaction. So I want to play as many as possible. And truth be told, if they have a droll, I'm probably playing into it anyway. So if it's one more thing that plays into droll, whoops. But it was good. I recommend playing it if you have the space. I did 3 heritage. Also, this card has back from graveyard, by the way. So there was a time today where I had 2 museums in hand, and I know I could get to another one in combo. I used museum and then added it back with this.
Yo, you're nice.
Instead of doing the other thing. So just be careful, but they can bell this at any point. So if they're playing bell, if they're playing Vanquish Soul or something, be careful. Okay, and then I'm playing 3 copies of museum. This card's crazy. Play 3 of it. If you play any less, I don't know what you're doing. It does everything. It's a soft once per turn. I don't know what else to say.
I like my once per turn soft.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so 3 Durandal. That's the searcher. You're going to want to play 3 of that. And then other equip spells here. I'm playing 1 copy of Joyous, 1 copy of Almace.
Yo, you flexing. How much is this?
It's not that much. I think it's like $50 or something. It's not crazy. It looks very nice though.
It does look good.
Yeah, but in every turn you want to use all of these effects. You want to use this effect, and this effect in your turn if you can. Usually I'm using this to get to my last piece of interaction, and then it'll recur a Gearfried that I've milled. So even if the Gearfried's banished or something, you can still get it back with this.
Broken.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Also, this card, if you need it to, can also blink out and get one of the other equip spells from your deck. So it can set up a combo, and it's good at the end of the combos. The card's really good. And then other equip spells I'm playing, I'm doing 1 DDR and 1 Metal Silver. The Metal Silver is a little bit of a contention. Some people don't like it. I personally do. I am not playing DDR, and I've considered doing that, but I think Metal Silver is really good. If I do get Dark Rulered, which is the main way this deck will die, if I get Dark Rulered, this is at least something.
What's it do?
It is like a magnet. They have to target the monster that's equipped to, and including cards in the graveyard, which is kind of weird. But any monster on the field or in the graveyard, if you're targeting anything, it has to be the thing equipped with this. So if you have Oliver on the guy, basically it makes a little soft lock. They can't target anything other than that monster, and they also can't target that monster. So they just can't use any targeting effects.
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually.
So yeah, even if they Dark Ruler you, you still have that at least. So I personally like that, and that's the reason why I'm doing it. Although I think DDR can be really good. So, and then my non-engine stuff, I have 9 non-engine spots. This is a 40-card deck somehow.
Holy.
Yeah, we're nice. I played 3 Droll, and then
That card eats.
3 Book of Eclipse.
Does that card still eat this format? How'd this feel?
It felt very good. And then it felt so good I did 3 more. So yeah, these are really good. Cash can be a bit of a problem for this deck, especially if they're able to get an Arise Heart to stick. This can answer that. It's also really good against Pearly. That came up today. And against some of the combo decks, if you have 2 Book of Moonlight cards, you can probably play through their board. And that came up today too. You're not often making your effects go through by booking them, but that can happen. A lot of times you need them face up to use them for materials. But
You're just booking their stuff to stop the negates to begin with.
Mostly. And if you go first, these are good. If you go second, they're really good. They can be good either way. That's why I went with these. I have been main decking like Dark Ruler and Talents. I think Talents is also really good, but I think these are just more impactful, especially because Pearly can just rip your head off. So you need these cards to answer those. So that's the main deck. That's 40. And then I'll do extra deck next. 15 obviously. So I did 2
Really?
is old. There are never imparm the first is old. You're silly if you do.
Or the first
or do it
too,
and I'll keep
right?
winning. Yeah. So yes, I'll always, if I can support it and don't die to draw, I'll always use the first one to search, and if they have a negation, I'll let them do it. And then
You
I'll make
pray they do it.
Yeah, and then I'll make a second one and combo off anyway.
Yeah, hit my follow-up. I dare you.
Yeah, and in some situations, it's good to have another one for the crackback turn because like you can just make it pretty easy. So I play 2. I'm also doing 2 Angelica.
Yo, flexing again.
I know. You need 1 for your main combo. There is another combo. Pack made a video on it a while ago. That's where I saw it first. Where you make 2 of these to play through Nibiru, essentially. So
Wait, why does it play through Nib?
basically, you make the first one search museum, and then you're able to get to Ogier and summon it with the museum, and then you can get Hot Claire and put it on the Ogier, and then you're able to summon this while you have an equip spell on the board.
Broken.
So you get to play through, and then you use not Hot Claire, Almace. You use Almace to then put a thing back on this, so that he has an equip spell on him, and then you're able to combo off. Then you make a copy of his old from there, and then you actually make a second one after that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, she can only search once per turn, but like it's still really good to get the blink out and mill effect. Yeah. Other weird things. I'm playing 1 copy of High Lonzelin.
Is this card expensive now?
Yeah, weirdly. This is the more expensive one. The secret one's not as expensive as the platinum. Weird. But anyway, this card's also for anti-Nibiru stuff because he can put an equip spell on him. And then usually you're doing Ogier plus Renaud to do this. You send the Gearfried, and then this equips a thing to himself, and then you can equip him with All Mace, then use All Mace to put another thing on him. Now you have an equip spell in Graveyard. And then you can just make another body, go into his ult from there. So that's the idea there. Also, this card, if you are under draw, this is a way to get to an equip spell because it puts it on your board. It doesn't add to.
Oh, that's cool too.
So it's kind of cool. It comes up sometimes. It's a weird card, but I don't know if I'd continue playing it or not. I probably could play one of the two of these cards, but I just have them on there for now. And then one copy of Captain Roland. This is what you're going to be summoning off of your Angelica. Also, he's just a good effect if you're able or need to summon him. He searches at your end phase and mills the thing at end phase, so he's pretty good. He's also a point of interaction if you do your whole combo. I'm only on one Charles. It should probably be two. One of these should probably be a second Charles. In case you play Cash, you need a second one if it gets ripped. Because without him, you can't make any of these. I'm on two of these.
I didn't realize how crazy this card was, dude.
That card's nuts. It's soft once per turn. This museum being soft once per turn, you make multiples of this every time you make one of it. It's nuts. And your end board's usually 1 to 2 of these, plus usually Gearfried and or Baron. Crazy.
God, what the heck?
Yeah, and Baron's a warrior. Your warrior locked at the point where you use Richardetto, but Baron being warrior. Whoops. And then some other...
I can make it sold with this, dude.
You could. Some other odds and ends here. Ferocious Flame Swordsman. This is a generic Link monster that is a warrior. So for some reason you end up with a monster that is not a warrior on your board, like Droll, potentially. Or if you end up with like a weird card given to you can link it off.
Kaijus or IPs or something. Or Ably, I mean.
Yeah, there's some situations where it comes up. And then this also gives everything an extra 500, so your guys get huge.
Yo!
And if he dies, you get to reborn a card. So you can do some plays where like you make him, you pop it with the Baron, or you pop it with a Charles, and then recur the card that you actually need.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It doesn't come up super often, but
when it does,
it's relevant. And then I'm playing a copy of Raten. This is a weirdo card.
What does he do? Holy.
So at the start of at standby phase, you can target a thing he points to, summon a level 4 or lower monster that's the same type as that. So
from where?
From your hand.
From hand.
So in a weird pinch, it can use it on Angelica. It targets the Angelica. You can chain Angelica. Weird. Or there's some lines where like you'll end up with a Richardetto or an Ogia in hand, and then you can use it during your opponent's turn and summon. There is a side deck tech going around where people are playing Ika the Flame Buddy, and
what is that?
It's a weirdo card. It's like you can summon a thing that's in your spell trap zone, and you can summon Great Shogun Shien, which is a weird lock. So you can do that with this card. I'm not personally doing that. You can do that without those. You just have to sequence Joyous, right? I'm not currently playing that, but I think it's cool. And then the last 3 cards in my extra deck are 3 Xyz monsters. One Artorias. Artorias is if you don't get a level 4 or lower fire warrior in your grave, you make him recur all your stuff, and you specifically send Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade, a Joyous, and a Durandal. And use the Durandal, you search a copy of Richardetto, and then you link off this and the Isolde to make usually Raten, or this. And then the Joyous will summon the Richardetto, summoning the guys under it, usually one of these, and then you are off to the races because you have a 1 and a 5, and that makes a 1 and a 4, and it makes a 5.
I like that phrase, off to the races.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So, and then Baguska in case of Catastrophe, and Zeus, because you're playing these cards, you should probably play Zeus. So that's the
card's crazy.
Actually, I'll do the side next. I'll do this pretty quick. I think the side is... the biggest concerns are whenever you play first, you need to beat Dark Ruler. That's very important because Dark Ruler can completely mess up your whole board. So that's the biggest concern. After that, you just have to play like tech that fits your meta. So I think these are non-negotiable. 3 Solemns. I think that's just important. I'm also playing in the case of weird situations. I'm playing 3 copies of D-Barrier. This is good if I get stopped, and it's just good against a good number of decks. Other combo decks and stuff like that, they can have a problem with that. Even if they stop me, I can play that and stop them back and then have a turn back. Against other combo decks, I want this, Dark Ruler. Not much to say there. It's just a good card. And then Cosmic, that's for if they play anti-spell against you. That's very bad, so you need that. And other Floodgates. And then, likewise, I'm playing 1 Harpies just to hit the back rows. And then I tried this today. So 1 copy of the Battle and Boxer Uppercutter. This just came out. So if this card's summoned, it can search a counter trap, which I'm playing this one. This one says if you have a fire that has 200 defense, you can banish it and negate a spell or trap activation. This stops Dark Ruler specifically. So you can get to this off of his old or by recurring it or summoning it off Joyous and then linking off and get to this. That way you have a way in your engine to get to a counter trap to stop the Dark Ruler.
That's so good. I like that a lot.
So that's the idea. I need to refine that a little bit. That's the first time playing with it. It came up like once today. But in theory, I could have done it another time and it would have been good. So, but yeah, that's the extra deck. So this is the deck.
Sick. You have any final thoughts or anything on it?
No, I'm still trying out some other stuff. There's the thought of running a more complete Battle and Boxer engine with 3 of these and headgear. The only reason I don't like that is because this is just the better normal.
Yeah, you'd rather some of them
It's
most
just
of
the
the time.
better. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just better. There's some other weird techs I've been working on, but like this, I feel very good about, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's been good so far.
Sick. Well, thank you for the profile and the combo video earlier. So make sure
no
you'll check
problem.
that
Check
out
it
too.
Yeah. Sweet.